Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate Business Podcast. Today is Wednesday, January 31st, 2024. Last day of January, last day of the first month of 2024. As we always say in this industry, it's flying by. Last day of the month. With me today on our guest list, we had Becky Alley, Lisa Lawson, John Kolb, and Harvey Freed. We appreciate it. Maybe we'll get some people to tune in late. And Becky and Lisa will join us. Harvey, I know you're here, and John, you're here, correct?
I'm here.
Oh, Lisa's there. I can't say. There's Lisa. Hi, Lisa.
Hi.
Woo-hoo. I'm glad you're with us. Listen, Pete, let's just jump right into it. The podcast, Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate Business Podcast, brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding, powered by CMG Home Loans, NMLS 1820. Team, last day of January. I'm going to go right to you. Listen. Lions didn't make it to the Super Bowl. However, it was a great season. Nothing to complain about. I know everybody's going to complain about drop balls, fumbles, going for it on fourth down. But my feeling is this, is that the Lions, the expectations for the Lions were not, they weren't going to go this far this year. They're going to be greater expectation. Success breeds success, everybody, in life, in sports, in anything. So next year, the expectations are going to be unbelievably high. I don't know if they're going to achieve the greatness that they did this season, panel, but it was a fun season to watch, Lisa Lawson.
Absolutely. And you know that I'm a huge fan. So, and I'm super thrilled that everybody still has a very positive attitude and a positive outlook on next year. I think it's just going to even be better.
Harvey Freed brought a lot of excitement to the city of Detroit. Listen, here in Detroit, we need things to get excited about, right? You look outside, it's cold, it's snowy, snowstorms, ice storms, everything. But we really did have the Lions to rally around, and it very much excited and re-energized the city, Harvey.
Along with it being the most affordable state out of all 50 of them, with all sorts of amenities, great colleges and everything. This is a great place to live. And yeah, it brought a lot of excitement to our region. It would have been a nice segue leading into the spring and gave us another reason to look past this 5 inches of snow I was shoveling last night. But yeah, Harry, we'll talk mortgages for the rest of the year. And maybe this will be the last time we'll mention the Lions for just a little bit until the draft.
Hey, John. You were at the Michigan State-Michigan game last night, another big event that we always have around here. Certainly not as much excitement around Michigan State as there is Michigan, but at least we got a win last night.
Yeah, it was a good game. They didn't play well in the first half, but brought it for the second half and ended up winning by, I think, 17 or 20. I can't remember.
There you go. All right. Enough of the sports talk radio now. We appreciate all that. Sports is a big part of what we do here in the Detroit metropolitan area. As a matter of fact, I was listening to a radio show that said Detroit, if not the best sports fan city, that has the best sports fans, metropolitan Detroit, one of the top two, along with Philadelphia and Detroit. But enough of that. Let's go with this. What's going out on the street, Lisa Lawson? Right now, I want to roll it up. I'm pretty excited today because we are in a great economic climate right now, Lisa. What's going on the street? Because we know the stock market is really strong. It's way up for the year. Inflation seems to be in check and stable now. Tell me what's going on out on the street as you see it.
Yeah, I was out there yesterday, and I think everybody is feeling positive, obviously, about the economy. Like you said, the inflation definitely, there's still a little bit of griping. Obviously, we'd always like to be lower, but it's definitely improved. I think people have listened and kind of got their ducks in a row. We've got people who are looking. Funds are going to be here around the corner. There's a whole lot of new programs out there. National Faith, which is a down payment assistance program here in Michigan, just got replenished. Yesterday made the announcement. So I've got a lot of people who are really poised and excited to get going and starting looking for homes as soon as possible.
Yeah, we're here on a Wednesday, January 31st, 2024. We're talking mortgages, we're talking real estate, we're talking about the economic climate. John Kolb, I think what's going to happen today is that the interest rates are going to stay the same. That's my prediction. We'll get into it a little bit later. But let's go on the economic climate right now. You're seeing the stock market in the first month of January, first full month has been up. Again, inflation is in check. I think people are starting to feel good about themselves. And as Harvey mentioned, John Kolb, the state of Michigan and metropolitan Detroit in particular is leading the way right now with the highest increase in home prices in the nation, John Kolb.
Yeah, I mean, I think people are starting to get a little bit more comfortable because the Fed, like we've been saying for many, many podcasts, many, many radio shows, that the Fed should just stop doing things and let things simmer down, let it settle down a little bit. People need time to adjust, especially with things that they don't understand. And with them starting to understand where inflation might be, where the interest rates might stay, they're starting to get back on the street to look at homes. And that's important because we need to get this part of the economy back up and running and churning, because it is such a huge benefit for so many Americans.
Yeah, that is true, John. And Harvey, we're talking about the economic climate right now. You are driving the highways and byways of metropolitan Detroit, going out to see clients, going on the east side, the west side. You're going all around metropolitan Detroit. I've got one word, Harvey, for the real estate market. Okay, maybe three words. The first word is active, and the second two words are more competition, Harvey. What are you seeing on the street right now in this climate?
What we're seeing, what we already know is out there. There's a lot of agents and loan officers and people in our industry that have not been so professional, and they sort of react to things that might not be true. So a lot of great deals out there. If it's a 50-50 world, 50% of the transactions are really easy and things are going great. The other 50%, we're running into things like sometimes a short appraisal, or the guy called me up and he was like, I thought the condo I was buying was 1,500 square feet and it's only 800 square feet. And so it's always goes back to the education and the knowledge. We know, Harry, that working with the top 10% of the real estate agents out there, and even our colleagues, the top 10% of the lenders, are truly what makes this business and the industry work for so many families. It's a shame that some families are being held back by just not even being prepared. So again, we're constantly urging getting your documents together, getting a real approval letter, and making this home purchase something that's smooth and easy and hassle-free. And then we talk about the next 60 days. Again, folks, get organized. If you think home ownership, anyone listening, if you think home ownership is in your cards, sit down with real professionals and get organized, because it can be the easiest thing you've ever done and the most rewarding thing you can do for your family.
Yeah, going to Lisa Lawson. Lisa, I said I've got three words for today in the current real estate climate. You're on the street every day. The first word is active, and then more competition. More competition meaning if people wait, Lisa, what's going to happen?
They're going to have more competition.
There you go. Pretty easy, right?
Yeah. The further you get into the home buying season, the further we get closer to spring, the further that this shortage continues, the more competition there's going to be. So the earlier you get out there here in this new year, the better it's going to be for you. You're going to give yourself a little bit of an edge, a little bit of a leg up than, waiting until, April, May, June, when things are in full swing. There's so many other people out there. You have way more competition. It's much harder to get an offer accepted that way. So do yourself a favor and start a little earlier.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Listen, people have to understand, even though we're sitting in the ice and snow on January 31st, 2024, the market is very, very active. And one of the ways that we can get people in the loans are on these down payment assistance programs. You mentioned National Faith. Of course, we have MISHDA. We have all kinds of DPAs, down payment assistance programs here, but also your regular conventional 30-year fixed, your 30-year fixed FHA transaction. There are so many more programs, Lisa Lawson, that people can take advantage of. And by the way, the government wants people to own homes. What does that mean? It just means that there are more ways, because rents are so high. Lisa Lawson, rents are so high, they're not going down, they're going up, and they're building more apartments. All you have to do in our area is go up and down Orchard Lake Road, go down to Detroit, downtown Detroit, go up in Macomb County. They're building more apartments, Lisa. And if apartment builders if they didn't think that rents were going to continue to go up, why would you build more apartments?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's definitely, rent is kind of crazy. And, for a long time, it was cheaper to buy than rent. And now it's about the same. You can get into a house and often the payment isn't going to be much different than what you're paying for rent. And it's still a huge investment because you're building equity, you're saving for your future, utilizing that equity, you're getting tax benefits that you wouldn't get as a homeowner without being a homeowner. There's so many other benefits. So, there's so many, as you started saying, down payment assistance programs available. And that's the thing with this high rent. It sometimes makes it difficult for people to save for the down payment because they're paying that monthly payment. They have the cash flow. They just can't, quite get enough to save. So these down payment assistance programs are excellent. There's so many. You had mentioned MISTA and then obviously National Faith, but there's Chenoa. There's so many other ones. You don't always have to be a first-time home buyer to use down payment assistance. Some of the programs, you can be a repeat home buyer. So don't think that.
And Lisa,
go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, Lisa, I don't want to step on you, but to go over that, also, not all of them have income restrictions, correct?
Correct. So some of them like MISTA and National Faith do, and obviously they're going to give you a lot of money, and sometimes you don't even have to pay that money back. Other ones, if you may make a lot of money, but again, still have finding difficult. Maybe you've got 4 kids, they're all in sports, you're paying a lot in rent, and you just haven't been able to save enough to, for a down payment. Those programs without the income limits and without, asset caps and things are going to be perfect for you. So don't think that there isn't a way to get out of your renting situation. There definitely is. And the reality is if you had to switch and rent, maybe you have to leave the place you're at and get into a new one. They usually want first, last, and security deposit. And by the time you do that, that might be what you could bring to close. So, I think people are scared because they're just scared to. There's so many opportunities out there. You just have to give us a call.
All they have to do is call 1-800-LOW-RATE or 1-800-3-LOW-RATE out of state, 248-569-7283 is the local number. Also, this is the Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate Business Podcast brought to you by CMG Home Loans and Capital Mortgage Funding, NMLS number 1820. Along with me, I have Lisa Lawson, John Kolb, Harvey Freed, and we're supposed to have Becky Alley. I'm hoping Becky can still join us. I want to talk to her about what's going on the street. She's always on the street as well. Going into real estate offices, making presentations, talking to first-time home buyers, all those things. But John, I'm going to flip it to you right now, John, because it's always interesting talking about what the Federal Reserve is going to do and why that matters. John, Fed's going to meet, in my prediction, they conclude their meetings today, probably no rate cut today. But the best news is no rate increase, rate steady. And to me, John, if they start doing something of real significance, any real movement, how about the end of the summer? Maybe I've got the over. You tell me.
No, I agree with you. I mean, I'm sick and tired of the Fed's knee-jerk reaction. So for them to cut right now, I think would be a knee-jerk reaction again, even though it benefits us. I just don't think it's something that they need to do. Let's pause. Let's take a break. Let's not do anything right now. And maybe talk about making a cut. I don't like the end of summer. That's just not my cup of tea. I think maybe in the spring, let's talk about cutting then. When we've had about since the last increase, we've had a couple pauses, and then we'll have a couple months under our belt, and then we can really analyze and to see if making those cuts is the right thing to do. Because don't make the cuts just to make the cuts. Let's make the cuts if it's the right thing to do and it's going to help the economy. They made the cuts during COVID when they should not have, as much as they did, and it came back to bite us. So let's pause and reflect and kind of make educated decisions. And I know that's not something the Fed always does.
Yeah, and we agree on that. And just to reiterate our bet, John Kolb, you say rates could go into the high fives. I say I've got the over, and this is for all of 2024. Of course, it's a classic hedge bet. If I do lose that bet, I gain because rates will be in the high fives. But to reiterate, we don't believe that the Fed is going to do anything today. They shouldn't do anything today, whether it's up or down, and probably no rate cut today. But we'll know at about 2:30 today. Harvey Freed, let's get into it a little bit about home inventory. Everybody thinks that the market right now is, how shall I say, overpriced. The bottom line is, whether it's overpriced or not, the reality is there's a lack of inventory. When there's a lack of inventory, a lack of supply, prices are going to be high. We already know Metropolitan Detroit is now leading the way in all 50 states in home price percentage gains, okay? I don't see that changing. Harvey, I don't see that changing this spring. I don't see it changing this summer. I still think there's going to be an inventory issue. I don't believe people are going to want to give up a 3 or 3.5% interest rate for even a 6.5% interest rate. I don't believe that. But the natural progression of home ownership are buyers and sellers, and you're going to see people continue. And Harvey, this is just me. It's a seller's market up there.
Yeah, I sort of segue what John said and what you're saying here, Harry. So if the Fed funds potentially drop in 2024, that could lead to more inventory. That might get some of the empty nesters, the families that were typically considered moving. They're not want to walk away from that wonderful interest rate they've got in the last couple of years. So that piece of the puzzle is real interesting. If Fed makes the cuts to get our mortgage rates again, there's the bond market's involved. There's lots of things, inflation, jobless claims, and specifically following the bond market in mortgage-backed security. So stick with all of those things. If the Fed makes a significant enough drop under 6%, will that allow some families to get their houses on the market, knowing that they're going to be able to buy and they don't feel like they're getting really, just a bad end of the deal. So that's where it's all coming together here. And again, inventory is going to be a complete issue here in 2024.
Well, people, before we go to last words, Harvey, I want to talk about the Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate Business Show for this weekend. Tell me what we got coming up for this weekend.
Well, we're putting together a couple of guests, I believe. Becky's going to be with us, and she's putting together a couple of the agents that are considering it. People are standing in line to get on our radio show, Harry. As you know, we only allow some of the best here in the Tri-County area across the state of Michigan. We're looking for you. If you're a real estate agent and you're thinking about maybe wanting to get out there, you see all these podcasts, people are doing these little TikToks. They're out there on social media. Well, come on a real radio show and show everybody what your expertise is. And that's the key. We want to show everybody what a great expert you are in this industry. I started off with a little bit of rough edges because I'm dealing with some agents that still think that square footage is in the basement of a home. And these are things we shouldn't be seeing in 2024. Again, knowledge is key to everything and everyone's success in purchasing a home.
Well, I know that's the topic du jour for you today, Harvey, and I appreciate that. But sometimes you just have to show them, have them call we can't call the appraiser, but a realtor can call the appraiser. And sometimes the best thing is just put the appraiser and the realtor together and let them work it out. But at any rate, Lisa Lawson, we're going to give you the last words, and we're going to go around the horn. Lisa, John, and then Harvey, and we'll finish it up.
I just wanted to say, obviously, you don't know what you don't know. So give us a call. See if there's a down payment assistance program that works for you. Get a educated, maybe rough estimate even about what your payment could be if you decided to stop renting and move or upgrade your home or maybe downsize your home or whatever your needs may be. But, take advantage of these rates. Don't wait because, yes, rates may drop in the future, but that's what refinancing is for. We're always going to make sure you're in the best position possible. So give us a call so we can get you started.
5 minutes. Thank you.
Lisa Lawson, co-hostess of the Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate Business Show, heard every Saturday morning from 9 to 10 on 97.1, along with Harvey Freed, Becky Alley, John Kolb, and myself. John Kolb, give us your last words for January 31st, 2024.
Get out there and start shopping. There's great deals to be had. I mean, if you wait till the spring, like Lisa said, we're going to have more competition. Right now, there's great deals to be had. You don't have to wait for school to be out, and let us get you the information you need to make some educated decisions.
Appreciate that, John. Go green. Harvey Freed, last words of the day.
Well, go find the qualified mortgage lenders. Go find the qualified real estate agents. Those lenders will get you set up with the top agents. I think it's a first stop. You really want to meet with the lender who's qualified to get your financing all set up for you. Again, if you're a cash buyer, fantastic and congratulations. It's a competitive market. But if you are getting a mortgage, there could be nothing more important than having that all set up and ready to go so you can make that strong offer. Again, multiple offers on homes, lack of inventory. Be prepared to be successful.
All right, everybody. I appreciate that. Harvey, missing Becky Alley today. She always has great things to say. She's probably all working, hustling alone right now. And we appreciate that. I'll be talking to her later today. She will be on the show this Saturday morning from 9 to 10 on 97.1. Listen, what we're covering here right now, current events are, we're eagerly awaiting what the Federal Reserve is going to want to do with rates. I think they're going to come out. They're going to hold rates steady. The Fed previously had 11 rate hikes starting in the winter of 2022. It's really slowed down parts of the U.S. economy, more impact throughout the 2024 labor markets. We're checking all that out for you. The decision itself to cut rates or to raise rates, nobody really cares about that. But what they want to hear are about trends. When will the Fed start cutting rates if they do? That leads investors to go ahead and where to put your money. They're going to put them in bonds, you can put them in the stock market. Where are you going to invest? And this is what the Fed has the kind of impact on the investor market. We know 3 words: active real estate market. And if you wait, there's going to be more competition. If you take away anything from this last day of January 2024, take this away. If you're looking to buy a house and you're waiting, you're doing the wrong thing. Now, make sure you can afford it. Get your pre-approval from us. 1-800-LOW-RATE, Capital Mortgage Funding, the best mortgage banker. But if you go out unprepared, you're preparing to fail, right? Being unprepared is preparing to fail. John Wooden, go ahead and look up the exact quote. You got to be ready. You got to do your homework. We'll help you out. We're closing loans less than 30 days if you want. If you want to close a loan in 21 days, we can do it. But why would you want to do it? Because the seller has nowhere to go. Okay? So whatever you need, we can provide. This has been the Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate Business Podcast. I want to thank Lisa Lawson. I want to thank Becky Alley. I want to thank John Kolb. And I want to thank Harvey Freed. We appreciate you. Our producer and director has been Roberto Beauchene. He's in the booth. Shows up every week. Appreciate him. We'll see you soon.